How you doing? Hashtag Health Wealth Life Day, never remember, 87, I think. Something like that. Can you think about that? If you think about it for a sec, we're like 87 days into the new year. That's a cool thought, or a thought where time is flying. Anyway, it is for me. What have you learned today? What's the insight you've had today? I am interested. Please share it. Pop it in the comment box below. And also, what's the main thing you've learned? Maybe from these videos. Maybe you've seen 87 of them. Maybe you've seen one. Maybe you pick something up. Share that with me as well. I'm interested to know what information is seeping through and getting through to you, and whether it's more about nutrition or lifestyle or exercise or supplementation. I'm curious. Let me know. And what's the next big thing that you want to learn? What do you want to learn next? You know, where do you want to go? We talked about this yesterday and the last couple of days. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Hannity, how are you? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? We talked about this. And if we don't have a clear vision in our mind, Jane, good to see you, then we don't know which direction we go. It's like having a speedboat without a steering wheel. So we don't know where we're steering it, okay? So what's the next thing you want to learn? What is it? Maybe you want to share it. Pop it in the comment box below. So the next thing I want to learn is how to deliver an amazing, radical transformation one-day seminar where we really create a shift in our lives. Me and you, everyone who attends, where we really create a shift and build up momentum, where we can make a positive twist and turn in our lives for the better, and keep that going. Create a momentum and build a momentum around that. That's the next thing I want to really put together and have that going out to you. Pete, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Be good to have a chat soon. Always entertaining, always inspirational. Right, so we all know, let's get straight to it. We all know what we need to do to achieve a goal, to reach a target. And we know in order to reach our goal, we know we need to have a target, and we need to be committed, and we need to be disciplined. Yeah? We all know that, but not everyone does it. It's like, we all know how to get, well, most of us, I would say, the information is out there, right? We all know, hi Rose, we all know how to get in shape. We all know that you need to watch what you eat, you need to exercise, right? So why doesn't everyone do it? Because it's not just about having the knowledge. It's not just about having the strategy. We need to have a number of other things in place in order for that to take place. Does that make sense? If I say anything that resonates, please give me a thumbs up, give me a share, and press the invite button. Press the invite, I dare you. Press the invite one person. Okay, let's get some more people into the conversation. I'm interested to know what you're thinking. So, in order to achieve a goal, we need targets, we need to be committed, we need to be disciplined. Now I want to break this down and make it a little bit easier, because it sounds like a lot of things we need to do. So how do we make it easier? I've been thinking about this, and I'm always looking for, thank you Hannity, thank you for sharing, I appreciate that. I'm always thinking, how can we make things more fun and easier? Because I don't think life should be ridiculously challenging. Jane, thank you for sharing, I appreciate that. I think there's an easier way. Hi Sue. And I think when you get good at something, things automatically become easier. Let's take playing the piano, for example. If you started to, maybe you can play the piano, I can't, I'd love to learn to be able to play the piano. I know it takes a lot of hard work and diligence, practice, commitment, setting targets, all that stuff, right? But when you first start, it's like ding, 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 ding. You know, you're one key at a time, and then eventually you can see a guy or a girl, a lady or a gentleman, and they're having a conversation and playing this amazing, you know, it's all automatic. Same with driving. When you first start driving, you're like gear, first gear, second gear. Maybe we only learn in automatics these days. Maybe I'm showing my age, or maybe we won't bother learning because there's going to be self-driving cars soon. But you get my point. So, you know, when we first start, we're looking in the mirror, we got to the driver, what are all the other people doing? It's really difficult. And then eventually you can, you do that. You might be a woman, you might put on some makeup even though you might be, that's naughty. Or you might be on the phone, you're having a conversation, you're doing all these things, right? So when we get good at something, it starts to become more automatic. So what I'm saying is, when we want to reach a goal, we have to be committed, we have to have targets, and we need discipline. I want to collapse those. I want to collapse those. And what I'm going to say to you is this. I want to give you one word that does the whole lot. You ready? One word that does the whole lot. And it will take us straight to our goals. Habit. Habit. Bless you. No, I wasn't sneezing. habit. That's the way that we can collapse all these things down and go straight to our goals. So if you have a good habit, we'll get automatically taken towards your goal. If you have a bad habit, then we have to do some work on that. Or we have to take it out and replace it with a good habit. There might be some techniques that are needed around that. If we have habitual automated habits that we do and we're not aware of, that's even worse. First step, aware of them, and then conscious competence of it, and then repeat the good habit. So you can't have darkness when you bring light. So if we can put the positive in, you can't have a negative thought at the same time as having a positive thought. Try and be angry when you're being grateful for something. You know, if you're angry, start being grateful for something, because you can't be the two things at the same time. So you can't do a bad habit and a good habit at the same time. What we want to do is more of the good habit. When we get the good habits going, we automatically set the targets, we automatically have discipline, we automatically have commitment going on. All right? So what are my habits? And I want you to set a daily habitual list. So how I want you to bring this into your mind and solidify it in your mind. Nola, welcome aboard. Hope you had a good day. Good to see you. I want you to solidify this thought process in your mind, is having a habit list. A habit list. Now, these are obviously good habits, and they're habits that are going to take care of our commitment, take care of our discipline, and take care of our targets towards our goals. Now, if we can set these daily habits, have our habit list, and we complete that daily, I'll give you mine in a moment, around a particular goal in mind. My main goal really is bringing out my personal best. Bringing out my personal best every day of the week, and that's what I help you do. Guide you to greatness is another way of putting it. So being great every day. How do you perform great, think great, move great? How do you do all these things in a great way? So my answer, one of the big steps to that is having a habit list. Now my habit list, let me just share it with you so you can get a good gist of it, right? So, can you see me? Give me a share, press the share button, and press invite. Press invite, do it now. All right, so what do? Now, first thing I do when I wake up is that's my first step. I smile and I count to 40. And I do that before my brain starts figuring out. Sometimes I wake up, I don't know where I am. I don't know what day it is. Anyway, yeah, just get into that. When you smile, it tells your brain that you're happy and good things can happen. You bring about good things. The more you can't have darkness when you have light. So put the light in, let's get the brightness going up, get the energy going up, your vibes higher and better. Right, number 2. A brain train. So if you haven't watched that video, skim through the videos. If you're watching as a recording through YouTube or Facebook, skim through and you'll see the video on meditation. Rose, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. So number 1, smile. Number 2 is brain train. You need to tell your brain which way you want to go and what you want to think about and what you want to accomplish. Thank you, Steve. A super smile. Man crush. Hashtag man crush. Cool. I'm happy with that. All right. So, not in that way. Right, number 3. I think my 3 is the wrong way around. Oh, lost the plot. Steve's put me off. He's flustered me. Steve's come into the room and flustered me. Voila, here we go. Hi Sarah, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, where are we? Now, number 3, what do? I get up, I do a smile for 40 seconds. You can go for longer, it's up to you. A brain train. This takes me 20 mins. Yeah, you can see that all right? Cool. Number 3, I write my goals out. Cool. I write my goals out. Now you're thinking this is starting to add up. You've got 30 minutes and 31 minutes. I don't care. I get up early enough. I get up at 4 o'clock on a Monday and a Wednesday because, in my opinion, poke myself in the eye. In my opinion, you need to get your consciousness right. Once you get your consciousness and your brain right, everything else has a much better chance of going right for you the rest of the day. Every interaction, every meeting, every training session, everything you do has a much better chance of going right once you get these right. You get your consciousness right and your brain right before you go out and start your day. So I get up early enough. If I've got a meeting at whatever 7, I'll get up at 4. I'll get up at whatever I need to in order to get the things done to get myself in the right state. It makes a massive difference on my life. It's made a difference to me since I started doing it, and I won't stop because it feels so good as well. And my day's going so much better for it. Trust me, you want to try it. So you need a habit. Let's come back to that in a minute. So the next thing I do, speak goals out loud. Now you can do this on the move. I do this when I get in my car and I've written them out, and I have a few other goals on the back of my phone. I carry on me and I speak them out. Just talk them out loud as I start to drive. Boom, takes me a few minutes, takes me 1 minute. Takes me 1 minute, yeah? Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for sharing. Who else has shared? Cool. Thank you. You're going mad. I love it. So, takes me another minute, right? Now, the next thing is... Okay, so I train my body. On the days I don't train intensely for an hour, I do at least 10 minutes of yoga. That's just a fair enough, a new-ish practice, but it's something I love. It stretches me out, it stops me getting stiff from the weight training I do, which you know I love, and should be a part of it. It brings a really good balance. So, I train my body every day. I personally train 4 days a week with resistance with weight training. So I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And then on the Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, I do some yoga and some light stretching and a few body conditioning, weight conditioning exercises. Okay, I'd be happy to share with the whole program with you at some point. If you'd like me to share that, type conditioning and I'll know to put that in. Kate, welcome aboard. Good to see you. Hi, Kate. Thank you for sharing. All the people that have shared, press the share button, press the invite button. I dare you. Invite someone and give me a thumbs up if I say anything that resonates for you. So, what I do next is I repeat something. So come the end of the day, so all this happens, you know, first part of the day, middle of the day, maybe really early afternoon. I might train late if I've been really busy, but I'll always fit it in. And then the last thing I do Can you see that? Okay, so I speak my goals or I read my goals 5 minutes. So I always have, I've got them on me now actually. I write my goals on a post-it note, so you can see them all there, right? I write them down. This is only, you've seen the rest of it. This is, in fact, I've written them 417 times. Daniel Element, how are you, mate? We're having a school reunion in here. Welcome aboard. Steve, you joined again. Can't get enough. Dan and Steve, welcome aboard. Kate, conditioning, good. I'll share that with you. I'll put something together over time. We'll build it up. Yeah, we'll stack solutions. We're stacking solutions here, don't forget. So, I do this in the evening when I just start to sit down and wind down. I speak my goals out loud or I read my goals again. So I've written them down, take them out of my pocket. I carry them around with me. Every time I reach in my pocket and I touch them or I feel them in my pocket, then it whizzes that back up into my brain. Ah, they're my goals. What am I focused on? So what I've found, that we'll go back to that in a second. What I've found is if, like I said, you can't have darkness when you've got light in the room. You can't be angry, thinking angry thoughts when you're being grateful. You can't be thinking negative thoughts when you're thinking positive. And it's really difficult to feel down if you're thinking positive, if you're thinking grateful, and if it's really bright and light. It's really difficult. So what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to look back? Life is, Jim Rohn said, life is a series of experiences, a series of experiences. So if we can make this experience just over here that we just passed bright, light, grateful, then we're going to look back and say, hey, I had a bright, light and grateful experience there. And if we did that the moment before and the moment before and the moment before, we're going to look back on the last day, the month, the last year and say, hey, my whole life, I'm really grateful and it's really bright and it's positive. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so how do we do that? And what I'm saying is, how do we move closer to our goals without thinking I've got to stay disciplined, I've got to stay motivated, I've got to stay focused for this long period of time? Habit list, a habit list. And this is my simple habit list. Look, it takes what? 5, say an hour. Let's go for the max, right? Hour and 5, hour and 6, hour and 16, hour and 36, say another minute. Hour and 37 minutes, that's including exercise. You know, most days, I do that 4 days a week, in fact, and you can take the hour off. So it's 36 minutes on the none, or 46 minutes on the non-intense exercise days. Can you afford to do that? I'd say it's way, way worth it. Way worth it. And this is what I'd call healthy habits. Now, healthy habits, that's what it's all about, healthy habits. And when you get these habits, things that are habitual, things that you do without thinking about it, you think, how many times have I done this? Now, I've done it 417 times in a row. In a row. There's something called a chi stick. Not some of your minds may wander there, but stay with me on the right path. Talking about a cheese stick. I learned this from Paul Chek way back when, 2006, might have been 2003 even, where you basically perform it's like Tai Chi, but you perform a certain movement and breathing and movement, and you do that for 300 days in a row. And in Chinese medicine, they believe that once you did it for 300 days in a row, you set yourself a new energy level. So it's like going up levels in a computer game or levels in a lift. So rather than climbing the wall and like fighting every step, we can just take an elevator. By using our healthy habits, we take an elevator up to the penthouse of our goals. So we can take it straight to the penthouse with healthy habits. And it's about being consistent every day, and they become habitual. When it's habitual, you don't have to think about it. Simple. Anyway, any questions? Do me one favor. Type now, what's the main thing you picked up? What's the one main priority you picked up from this video? Type it now. It's really important that we run that information through your brain again so it sticks. It sticks in your mind. So type it in the comment box. Do me that one favor. Just type in what's the main point you got from this this whole video. Maybe you could summarize it in one word or a small sentence. Pop it in the comment box to me. I'd appreciate that. Developing my habits. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. So healthy habits. Yeah, so we don't want to develop, we want to be clear, have clarity around the language, healthy habits. So it's not just any old habit. I got a habit of getting out of bed this way. I got a habit of, I don't know, chucking on any old clothes, getting dressed in the dark, looking like a clown. Who knows what it is? All right, so this is mine. You can steal them. You're welcome to use them. They're not mine by patent or by trademark. Get stuck in. Get stuck in. Find your own habit. You can't have darkness when there is light in the room. Develop healthy habits. Perfect, Kate. Thank you very much for sharing. Anyone else? Everyone in here, write it down in the comment box or write it down on a piece of paper right now. Do it so it just sticks in your mind. There's no point. This is the first point of taking action. If you type this out, if you write it down, it's just one little step of action, right? The reason why I write my goals, it's been shown in studies that if you write them out, it solidifies it in your mind. It manifests them in real life. and you start to believe and understand that they can actually become real quicker. And our goal should be a bit of like a shocker, like, ooh, can I do that? I don't know. Not sure. When we first write them, and then when we look back 5 years later, we think, geez, I did that. That's actually happened. I'm writing a new goal now, which is even bigger. You know, like Elon Musk, he's talking about the human beings being a multi-planetary species where we can live on other planets. Now, that's way not possible right now, but that's his goal because he's stretching, yeah? And he's brought in Tesla and self-driving cars and all that stuff, right? So anyway, set the healthy habits. Have a habit list. So what I suggest you do, Hannah D, what have you written? Cannot feel two opposite feelings same time. Build good habits. Perfect. You cannot feel two opposite feelings, negative and positive. Which ones do you want to feel? How do you want to look back on your life? Life is a series of experiences. How do you want to look back? Oh, I had a million great experiences. Or, oh, I had mostly negative thoughts. I got the That's not a good one, right? Write my goals out and repeat. Exactly. And let me tell you about this. This is the way I had a clarification the other day. I might do a whole video on this, but let me tell you this. The way this works, the way affirmations work, the way you achieve your goals is like water shaping stone. The water runs on the stone or drops on the stone. It's not one drop, it's not two, it's not 10, it's not 1,000. It's probably more like 10 million drops of the water on the stone. But sure thing, it will shape that stone. Does that make sense? Sarah, to write and speak my goals, my throat chakra needs ongoing work. Blast through that, breathe through that, go easy, go hard, play around with it. Find your way through. Find your way through, Sarah. So just as sure as water will shape stone, and maybe at the same speed that happens, you can achieve all the things you want. But we need to have clarity, need to be able to write them down, need to train your brain, keep yourself on track, all this stuff, yeah? You're welcome to use these. Healthy habits. Have a habit list, people. Create your habit list right now. It will take you 30 seconds. And if you're watching as a recording or if you're watching live, either way, pop down in the comment box what you got from this video. Summarize it. Please pop it in there. I like to be able to skim through so people can look in and say, oh, that's what this video is about. So pop it in what this video meant to you or what you got from it, the main summary in a sentence. Do that for me now, please. And write out your habit list. Oh, I have identified it. Cool. My throat chakra. Identified the throat chakra? I'm not sure. Explain that one, Sarah. So, create your habit list and follow that through to your goals. It's the way to take the elevator up to the penthouse of your healthy habit goals. Amazing. All right. So this is how I keep myself in personal best shape. How do I bring up my personal best every day? This is a big part of it. All right. I hope that brought some value to you. I hope that was of insight to you. I just want to share one last thing with you. The other thing that I share at the end of my videos is how do you take 30 seconds of your day and £1.13, 30 seconds of your day, 10 seconds of your day and £1.13, £1.13, way worth it. And you take care of, you decrease dramatically the risk of arthritis, joint pain, aches and pains, blemishes on the skin, rashes, sleep issues, weight issues, and so much more. You decrease your chance of having cancers. How do you do that? Amiga. Type Amiga in there and I'll send you a 1 minute 30-second introduction. It's just so easy. It's the easiest thing I can share with you that you can get dramatic results quickly. It is that easy. Type Amiga if you're interested and I'll send a 1 minute 30-second video over to you. All right, we'll finish there today. Write down your habit list and that will take you on an elevator or a lift straight up to the penthouse of your goals and your desires and your dreams. As surely as water shapes stone. Maybe in the same speed, maybe not, but as surely as. All right, have an amazing rest of the morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Please put a summary, if you haven't already, in the comment box. Give me a share, give me a thumbs up, and invite someone. Invite someone to the conversation tomorrow. I'll be earlier tomorrow, it's 4:30, so if you can't watch it live, then please catch me on the recording. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 or at 4:30 even on a Thursday. Actually, I'm even earlier tomorrow. Jeez, I'm getting a haircut. I need a haircut badly. Yeah, so I'm going to be even early. Probably be about 3 o'clock. Anyway, have an amazing evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, happy is a skill that you can learn. And this This is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get some health wealth. Let's take the world with us. I'll see you all tomorrow at around 3 o'clock or on the recording. Take care, guys.